Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting session on AI Copilots for managers, leaders and tech leads. I'm Ziggy Rafiq, and today we're going to explore how artificial intelligence is transforming the roles of managers, leaders and tech leads, enabling them to become more efficient, creative and impactful in their day-to-day tasks.
Hi everyone, my name is Ziggy Rafiq. I'm a tech strategy software engineer lead and a proud C# Corner MVP. Today we are talking about AI copilots, tools like Microsoft Copilot and GitHub Copilot, and how they can help managers, leaders, and tech leaders work smarter, but not harder. We'll come with that in more detail when we say not harder. So we are more of saving our productivity time here and making our time more useful in doing our activities as leaders. The agenda today is we'll be starting with a quick introduction about me, so you can have content on my role and why I'm passionate about this topic. Next, we'll be exploring the challenges leaders and teams faced today, from endless meetings to information overload. Then we'll look at how AI copilots are entering the scenes and reshaping the way we work. I'll walk you through Microsoft Copilot for leaders, showing how it empowers decision-making, and GitHub Copilot for tech leaders with extraordinary engineering productivity. We'll then bring it all together to see the combined power of these tools to make it real. I share a day in my role and how Copilots transform my daily workflow. Of course, no innovation comes without concern, so we'll cover the risk and watch out how we be mindful of those risks. We'll wrap up with a closing thought and a call to action, and then I'll invite you to a live Copilot challenge to see in action. Finally, we close with a Q&A. So let's start the journey now together. A quick word about myself is, as you're aware, I'm Ziggy Rafiq. I work at Capgemini as a software engineer lead, people manager, assignment manager, Connected Manager Pod Coach, teaching future leaders and managers, emerging leader facilitator, one of the core facilitator within the Capgemini Corporation. I've been teaching leadership since 2020, so nearly over coming towards 5 years. I've been in a software for many years, over 20 years, across technology of .NET, Java, TypeScript, and now AI. My passion is helping teams build clear, modern systems, but also making sure we work in a smarter way. I share my knowledge through talks, books, and my idea of vibe coding, working in flows with focus and energy. So today I'll bring you this lesson from a both tech side and leadership side. The challenge that we have today is, let's starting with the challenge we face every day. Managers deal with endless meetings, reports, and delivery pressure. Developers face code quality issues, testing, and tight deadlines. The result is we spend too much time on admin and routine tasks and not enough time on the strategy, leadership, and innovation. Does this sound quite familiar to everyone here, what I'm talking about? Okay, can't see any hands up. Bear with me. I'm having my Zoom panel. Okay, that's fine. Right. Okay, moving towards the entering of the Copilot AI. This is where AI Copilot comes in. In the past tools, we translate one tool for documents, another for code. They didn't talk to each other. Now, Microsoft Copilot and GitHub Copilot act as a digital asset to us that assists and that connects business and technologies. They bridge the gap between the leaders and the developers. So when we talk about that specifically, I'll say is a lot of the leaders may not be so hands-on tech. This is where the Copilot will allays them with the tech tools and explain that what is a developer working on, and makes the life easier for the leader to understand what they're working on. So the technical jargon could be explained in more business term as well. Thing about leaders, we spend hours writing reports, summaries, meetings, and preparation for presentation. Microsoft Copilot can now do these tasks in minutes. It creates a summary deck, summaries, summarizing a deck, forecasting, and even strategizing the draft. Not only that, but it also helps us writing documentations and the coding standards best practices. With the power of AI, we could speed up this. The result is leader can spend more time guiding people, making decisions, and shaping the vision, not formatting slides. Whereas the GitHub Copilot for tech leaders, now this is where we're talking about developers and tech leads. We lose hours writing boilerplate code, tests, or fixing simple bugs. GitHub Copilot helps by suggesting code, generating tests, code, and even helps junior developers learn fast. The result is tech lead can focus on the architecture, mentoring, and quality instead of representing coding and helping out juniors with the basic of codings. Combining this power, here's the magic where we use both Copilots together. Microsoft Copilot supports the leaders, GitHub Copilot supports developers. Together, they align business and technology, reducing friction and speed up delivery from strategy to execution. It's like having two systems in one boardroom, where one, the code editor, working in sync with the other. As a metaphor I am giving here to you guys. A day in my role. Let's give you an example from my own role. My day jumps between meetings, coding, mentoring, and reporting. That consists switching drain focus, meaning you end up keep on switching from a technical side to non-technical side. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, with Microsoft Copilot, reporting is done faster. With GitHub Copilot, my coding tasks are lighter and deliverable quicker by 70% uplifting. This results in I finish my day with energy left instead of burnout. Why this is important is we don't want to be hitting burnouts in our work, because recovery of that could lead from months to even a year plus, depending on how badly we get burned out. The risk, of course, is AI is not magic. There are risks. If we blindly closing our I trust Copilot, we might get wrong answers. There are also costs and questions about data security and IP. So the key is using Copilot as assistant, not replacement. Put guidance and policies in place. Do this right, and you'll see the real business value and safe adoption. This also goes down to the idea of prompt engineering, how we train the AI to answer our queries. The closing call here is that, so the message is clear. Leaders don't need to stay burdened in admin tasks. Tech leaders don't need to be stuck in boilerplate code writing. Start smart, try Copilot in your daily work, track results, then scale. It's not about working hard, it's about working smarter here. And the challenge which I've got for you now is, which you could take away, is now think of one task you do every day that takes too long or feels boring. It could be writing an email, summarizing the meeting notes, or fixing a bug. Holding that in your mind. Now imagine if AI Copilot could cut that task from 20 minutes to 2 minutes, what would that free you up to do? It's maybe coaching your team member, solving a bigger problem, or just leaving work earlier so you could spend more quality time with your friends and family. Another area of this is where I'm looking at from a result side is pick that one task, think of your prompt you will give to a AI Copilot to handle it, If you're brave, share it with a group, and you could also tag us on the social media comments. This is how the challenge starts, one task at a time, and it's done smarter. So a solution here is, let's talk about more like live AI Copilot solution now. Here, this is in our test, we saw how Copilot can dramatically reduce the effort and save time. So what we'll be giving here is a quick rundown, a demo of our Copilot tasks, how we are able to do, both in GitHub Copilot and Microsoft Copilot. So if I just launch this now, if I could go to my browser, just bear with me. If I could access this. Wait one second. Right, you can see from here, I've got the Microsoft Copilot open, so I do apologize, I won't be staring at the camera directly now because I'm looking through my secondary monitor. Here, what I want to do is I have got a simple, let's say, my typical Jira ticket to write. So I'm going to say, write me a Jira ticket. And this is what I could say, for example, for senior developer to create me a let's just call it login system using ASP.NET Core REST API. Also, make sure it is using. Also, make sure it's simple, plain business tone in their content. Now you'll see, if I just write this small prompt, it is giving us a whole ticket detail. So example is now, I'll just click on insert. There you go, you can see it says inserts for me. And all I have to do from now here is cut and paste this into Jira, for example, writing a description. I've got the exception criteria. I've got the priority as high. So this is now, as you have just seen, does not take more than a few seconds to write this, whereas in the past, it will take us at least, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes or even longer to write a Jira ticket for a developer. Now, coming from a business side, this is adding more value to our basically models in terms of business. We know now, obviously, we can write this, confirm if the content makes sense, like user authentication pattern, password encryption, token-based authentication, error handling, and logging. So we know these are the core elements of a login system. Then obviously looking at the AC acceptance criteria, the login system should authenticate the user based on the credential. Password must be encrypted and securely stored. So you can see from here, it's a clear content and easy to follow. The other example I want to show you is very quickly here is on the GitHub Copilot. So here you can see is the code of a website, and I'll show you this website basically very quickly so you could understand what it is. If I could find this now from screen, bear with me. Let me just run it. Well, you can see from here, that's currently the website which I'm currently working on. Now on here, if we go to contact, currently it's obviously just a playing around with it, but I want to show you that's the current contact form, right? So what we want to do is we want to create that using HTML, 5, CSS, 3, and JavaScript. So if we go to my contact page, scroll down to the area where I want it to be returned. So this, the sections, it's going to be a bit longer. So further down. And then here you will start to see the main content. here, and you can see from there, obviously, I'd love to hear about you. That's the form. But now I'm going to say is create me contact form using HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. Okay, with name, email, phone number, let's call it, and message. So here you will see what it will give us the code. Now, this will take normally, let's say, at least between 30 minutes to 1 hour normally to write. Now you can see this is done in seconds, right? It's obviously gave us CSS. It gave us all the JavaScript as well, code which we will want to use for the purpose of this demo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically copy the div tag from the class here and just place it in my contact here. So you will see this clearly rather than not. So just remove that. And just to make sure we have the section in there added. Closing it off so this is clear. And you can see it's already giving us the prompts of how we do it. So I'll just paste that there, save that, go down to my style, just copy that, all of that. Literally, I'm just copying and pasting. That's all I'm doing. And here, what we'll do is go to our CSS, just go to the, let's say, the main, and I'll just go put it all the way at the bottom for now. And go to the Java. So this is again a simple JavaScript. Just copying and pasting it into the script file, which is here. All I'm going to do is go all the way down, paste it. And if we run this now, we will be able to see the actually website up and running. So now here, if I click on contact, you can see the form now, right? Yes, it's not so clear because the text behind it. But then if I click on send, it's got already form validation. So let's put that down. Let's put down z@z.com. Let's give this a phone number, +44 123 456. Give some message. And you can see that it's already telling us interactive form for us. So you can see from the hours, this will typically take us will be longer than what is normally, normally it will take. So it's like spending less than 20 minutes. We're spending 2 minutes here. And this is not just about speed, it's all about freeing up our minds for high value work, whether that's leading a team or making decisions or even innovation fast. To make it real, we have seen a quick demo of both Microsoft Copilot and GitHub Copilot in action. These are the tools which we could use to obviously one, drive productivity in leadership tasks, and another to supercharge the technical delivery. Before we close, let's take some questions here from you all, from the audience. What's on your mind? And what's your biggest worry or curious about using Copilot? And finally, I want to ask, obviously, is there any further other questions you would like to ask? Any silence? Right, it is. Right, everyone. Okay, there's no questions, I believe. Okay, Thomas, one. You could come off mic and speak if you want to directly, rather than putting a thumbs up.
I'm sorry, Ziggy, but they won't be able to unmute themselves. They
Oh,
can
okay, fair
drop the
enough.
questions in the chat box. I would
Yes,
encourage all the participants to please drop your question in the chat box.
yes, please. Right, okay. Just go down. Right, thank you. Okay, entering a recommendation for prompting refining results. Yes, the way we do it is based on our own, how we will obviously ask like Google, like to search. We will put in normal business terms that, i.e., keeping it simple rather than using fancy words. Tell the AI you're training the AI model to do certain things, like, i.e., just like the form I've created, I'll just use basic wording. Not even a engineer, don't have to be engineer to write that in the GitHub Copilot prompt. So keeping that in mind, and that's what will then the AI model remember it and start learning how you will start asking questions and how to ask things. Any more questions? You could just type in the chat. Oh, thank you, Ted. Yes, code that gets generated, the information would be used for future training on models. Now, the code which are normally generated by the AI, these are like specific to the project, I'll say. So if you are working on, let's say, building a CRM system, what will typically, if it will take you a month or it will take a month, a development team, that could be cut down to 3 days. We have seen this, we have trialed it in our organization, and we've seen the success rate. Hence why I say it's between 60% to 70% increase in productivity. You have to remember that the AI model is not always correct. There will be some errors, and that's where you have to be careful. Yes, there are certain levels of the IP which we have to understand in the world, and we have to obviously remember that we are not obviously abiding any rules before we start sharing our thoughts and ideas to AI model. Okay, moving away. Thank you guys for your attending this session, and I hope you find this useful. Remember that the goal isn't to replace leaders or developers. The goal is to empower you so that you can lead, code, and innovate with the most energy and focus.